Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Stephen Moustaris. And it is time we got to get honest about Leon Edwards. And before I go crazy about him, I must give this man, Sean Brady, his respect before we go too crazy. That man, what he did to Leon in that fight, oh my goodness. An absolute classic, a clinic. Class was in session. Belt to ass. I mean, my goodness, it was impressive. The way he was just dominating him, goes out there, submits him. The way he shut down his whole game plan. I'm pretty sure he only ate maybe a couple knees to the body and one nasty elbow, I remember. Other than that, it was absolute shutdown. I think second round, I don't even think Leon got a shot off. I don't even think in the third round, I think he maybe landed 2 shots, I think it was. It was insane to see what he did. Destruction, domination. You just changed your life. Congratulations. Now I'm excited to see how it goes with the Belals, that rematch, or the JDM, the Shavkats, Ian Gary's, the Carlos Prates, Michael Morales's right now, the good old Joaquin Buckley. 170 is going to be so fun, and you can even think if Islam moves up, Sean Brady's going to be a fun fight for anybody. But we got to get honest about Leon Edwards, man. It's not even like he's that old or anything that we should even be talking about this. The guy's only 33 years old. But when we talk about Leon Edwards, it's just so depressing. I don't know how anybody could go out there and get dominated like he did against Belal Muhammad. I don't know, especially in a title match. I don't know how anybody in their mind could go out there, get dominated like that, take somebody so slightly, just overlooking him, and lose your belt, get embarrassed in front of the world, in front of your family, in front of everybody. And then you get another match, you can finally get another top killer. All you have to do is beat this guy, another top 5 killer, and you go right back to the title fight. You might get your title back. You might have learned your lesson like Belal did when you beat him the first time, or at least before it stopped with the eye poke. I'm just saying, man, you go out there and do the same thing against Sean Brady. As soon as I saw it this week in the press conference and all these things in the interviews, I was like, Leon Edwards is going to do it again. He's overlooking him. Did I think he was going to get dominated that bad? No. I definitely didn't. But I saw it again, making fun of how short Sean Brady is, making fun of how Belal could beat him, I can beat him, taking him slightly, not really going in there thinking he's a threat. And look what happens to you now. I was right there with everybody yelling, headshot dead, yelling it, going, bang, 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 doing the whole thing. I was right there with you, Leon. Everybody loved it. It was one of the coolest moments that I've ever witnessed in MMA, especially as of late. But even in my 16 years of watching this shit, one of the funnest things, one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But now it's tough to even talk about you. Because now everything we talk about, when we look at your past, now we look at, wow, did Colby Covington really break his foot in that fight? Because now if Colby broke his foot, now that's all we remember. What if Colby didn't? Would he have done that to you? What if you didn't? What about if he didn't get that last second headshot in that with 1 minute left in that title fight against Usman? Everybody's sentence before that headshot is, oh, he was getting dominated. He was getting killed pillar to post. And he pulls this off. Usman kind of sets his... It was a nice setup. You got to love it by Leon. But we're just talking hypothetically here now. We're talking about how we're going to remember you now because of these last performances. Now we're going to sit there and just remember you, man. Usman took his foot off the brake. He just kind of got lackadaisical with 1 minute left. He's already had all these title defenses. And then we look at everything before that. If you guys recall the fight before that, do you guys remember Nate Diaz? Oh my gosh, yeah. Leon was putting on a great performance, but Nate had this man rocked in the last second. If he didn't point at him for a minute, maybe he could have got him out of there. There's an asterisk there. Then you look at the rest of his wins. Vicente Luque. Now we look at him now from the best. I know 20/20 vision is always clearer now, but I'm just saying, you guys got like RDA, Gunnar Nelson, Brian Barberina. We're talking about some guys, Donald Cerrone. We're talking about some like old guys that he got to beat up on. And he lost so much of his time during COVID. He was refused to fight, which I'll never blame the guy or whoever. I'll never blame you guys for taking out during a crazy pandemic. Who knows what could have happened at that time? But we're just talking now. Leon Edwards, you had one of the craziest fun times in the world, but you were never that guy that could be sitting there talking like that, just overlooking guys. It just blows my mind. Like, you deserve to lose like that then if you're just going to overlook it. And you're only 33 years old, but now at 170, we're looking at you like you're a Kamaru Usman at 40 years old. You're a Colby Covington now. You're a Wonderboy Thompson at 42 years old. Now we're talking you like the only fight that we might even like watching you at 170 now is maybe an old Gilbert Burns fight or maybe a Jorge Garry Masvidal if they bring him out of retirement or whatever he's doing now. That's embarrassing at 33 years old. That's embarrassing as a former champ. But it's all because, like, Sean Brady said it the best after. I know he laid it on thick after the win, but you kind of can't blame the guy when he's talking that much poop about you, and then you sit there and put the domination on him. Like, yeah, you're going to talk. Like, you overlooked me the entire time. I feel disrespected even though I just whooped your ass. Like, he's even saying it. Leon just likes to look pretty out there, which is true. This man is one of the greatest, like when it comes to beautiful techniques and everything, when it comes to MMA striking and whatnot, and even takedown defense. This man is amazing at it. He's pretty when you watch him. That's a great word for it. But when it gets ugly, like these new set of fighters, these Marabs, these, like we talked with Belal, the way he's been killing people, the way that Sean Brady's learning how to do it. All these guys are doing this now. All these guys. You don't think Shavkat's going to do that to you all night? You're not willing to do that? Like, oh my God, that's what Usman made his bread and butter. That's what Colby Covington made his bread and butter. That's what Khabib made his bread and butter. That's what Islam's making his bread and butter. All these guys are doing it now, and you're not going to ever be ready to get ugly and get dirty, and then you give up in there. And we've witnessed it how many times? So it's just depressing. What is next for Leon Edwards? We already said it. I've given my props to Sean Brady. It's hats off to you. But you guys can't sit there and act like this man Leon Edwards didn't quit. Was it the third round? Right when he's starting to get stuff going, he goes for his own takedown and just ends himself. Like, what are you doing? The only time you're doing that is if you just given up on yourself. You just quit. You just have no faith in it anymore. And it's just insane to me, man. Somebody that had the MMA world by the balls. I remember listening to the Ariel Helwani live show right after the show. Or after the fight. And I remember people from London and the UK and everybody all around the world crying because Leon Edwards had changed the MMA world over there. Changed worlds, changed lives. And then you go out here just a few short years later, and we're sitting here like, how did we ever hype you up? What you did this to yourself? It's embarrassing. Like, trust me, I know I can't beat Leon Edwards' ass. I'm not sitting here saying he sucks at fighting. It's just crazy that he overlooks people. I've never witnessed it out of anybody in my life other than somebody like Luke Rockhold. Like, how do you go out there and get dominated in a championship fight and know that you just overlooked a guy, and then the very next fight you do the exact same thing? You deserve this, man. You really do. It's embarrassing, or not embarrassing. It's a shame, I guess, that we got to witness this after such great things that you did. I'm gonna remember you. I have so much respect for you. I'm gonna always remember the career that you did have for a little bit. But if you're not willing to change it, man, they can't even throw you up against those guys I mentioned. What is Carlo Prates gonna do to you? Oh my! What is Michael Morales going to do to you? What's JDM? That might be a winnable fight for you, but not the way you've been fighting, not the way you're overlooking people. You're not going to beat any of those guys. What is Islam Makhachev going to do to you if he decides to come up here? Absolutely murder you. We already saw what Belal and Sean Brady are willing to do to you now. Shavkat's not going to do that to you. Like, oh my! You might be able to beat somebody like Ian Gary. I would love that match, but if you're overlooking somebody, you're never gonna beat them in the MMA world, and especially at the high level of the UFC. Oh, I just can't believe it. So you guys let me know what y'all think about Leon, but it's just so crazy to even say here. I can talk about it for days clearly, but it's always your boy Steven Moustaris. Like, man, what's next? What's next for him? Shouts out to Sean Brady though. Shouts out.